This episode of Arrays of Living discusses In the Background and is dedicated to all those who are made to feel unheard, unseen, disempowered, muffled or muzzled, and overlooked or overshadowed by others. In doing this episode, I hope I can do justice to all of those who fall within this or recognizes or nods or experience this type of thing, myself included. But more so, I want to ultimately sensitize those who may be making others feel this way. So are you the friend that must always take center stage? Are you the friend that knows or considers yourself to be so beautiful that things are meant to happen to you in the perfect way all of the time? And then you have a friend that may not hold up to your view of these things and you make them feel like crap. Are you the one serving up passive aggression with a smile or two? Are you the person who deliberately makes others feel bad and actually enjoy doing it or sees nothing wrong with the behavior? Well, are you? This world we live in is richly textured by our differences, which includes all types of personalities. Myers-Briggs is considered the most widely used personality test in the world, and it calls out 16 personality types. I point this out because it gives us a good sense as to just how complex things could become if we tried to correlate the dominant, non-dominant situations based on personalities. In the Background is not about personalities, or at least I'm choosing not to make it about that. The topic is about having made a decision to give up your power to others who seem to find delight in your silence or your misery. Now, there is a saying to pick your battles, which sends the message that not every fight is a good or right fight to have. We can all agree with that saying. Essentially, use your energy wisely. Yet some of the things we choose to battle about are questionable as to the sense in fighting for or over them. And oftentimes, the battle for our dreams and our very presence, we consider low priority. Let's step back a bit and allow others to shine is one reaction for some. Let's step back and allow others to grab the spotlight or turn the spotlight away from you. What we have to realize is that we teach others how to treat us. We give them permission to do what they do to us. And when others do what we allow them to do, are we sitting in the shadows pouting or simmering with envy, anger, frustration, or even sadness? I talked in this season about decisions and accountability, two things that will continually come up as recurring themes, not because I planned them to be, but because they just are, meaning they are the truths we try not to face, the elephant in the room that is always with us just by being human. We are built to make decisions, and we are accountable for the decisions we make, or the decisions we decide not to make. Don't shoot the messengers. Don't shoot the messenger. But I will always be frank and honest with you and even with myself. This is one of the essentials of who we are. We are decision-making beasts. We make decisions and we are accountable for them. So with that in mind, is it any wonder that my position is that at some point in our lives, some of us decided to accept others putting us in the background. The trigger that started that acceptance is part and parcel of the shites we were handed. And I will remind you that shite stands for stuff harbored inside that eventually sabotages our lives. And what do I always guide? What does Jenn always guide? I always say that getting to Divintastical living requires us dealing with our shites, one onion skin at a time, painful as it may be. We have to deal with them, and it's better we deal with them as early as possible rather than down the road trying. It's never too late, but we don't want to be so far down the road that we don't even know how to get back. After we're marred in all sort of health issues and pains and aches and all these things, sometimes those things are hard to crawl back from. So we've got to deal with our shites. Who has had the experience of watching someone do something and you get excited by what they're doing? And in that moment, you seem to know you could do the very same thing. And then that sense of possibility quickly becomes a fleeting thought, now dismissed until the next time something reminds you. What about being amongst people and there's chatter all around you, opinions and thoughts are being exchanged, and getting a word into the conversations is a heavy lift or falls flat when you do speak? Or how about the body language of those around you that are dismissive of you? So you go silent and become the listener with the occasional smile or even laughter, ha, 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 that never really reaches full sincerity. Oh, and here's another one that many times flares up when planning a wedding, but happens also in one's everyday. That's when the friend does not want to be outdressed or outperformed or outspoken by you. So the clothes and shoes, especially for a wedding, the clothes and shoes are selected to downplay against the bride and even sometimes the grooms in attire, accessories, and makeup. Now, we usually accommodate this deliberate intent for weddings. I mean, it's a bride's one day, sure, or matrimonial occasions. But what about when this interplay is occurring in one's regular interactions with others, friends or family? Who's the perpetrator and who's the victim? And what are the impacts and even the motivations? Do the motivations even matter? Psychology tells us that the perpetrators have their own issues, and their selected way to cope is to gain superiority by instilling inferiority upon others. Deflate others to inflate me mentality. Then we call them our friends, colleagues, and loving family. Sometimes these dynamics even occur with twins, where one will seek to dominate the other and the other will allow it because they are twins. I know parents who have placed their twins into different classrooms to combat this issue and allow each to flourish in their own right. Now, that's a right decision from my perspective, because over an extended period of time, the in the background twin would make that stance their modus operandi and apply it throughout their life, making subserviency their comfort zone. Well, all these interactions, no matter what flavor they come in, no matter when they start, it doesn't matter. All these interactions and much more do happen. And those allowing themselves to be the brunt of superiority antics have to consider that it has and continues to do for them. They have to consider what it has and continues to do for them. Remember, the good and the bad experiences are all learnings for us, meaning to grow us in ways we need to grow. Either we get the learnings or understand the learnings to get out of the cycle. So if you remain in the background, consider for how much longer. What will it take for you to choose different results for yourself, positive results? What boundaries will you establish to clarify your rejection of being subjected to the antics continuing? What will it take for you to choose you? Really, really, really choose you. Because the only way it can stop is based on you taking a stand for yourself. Sure, there's other friends, real friends that might stand up for you, but at some point you got to stand up for yourself. So what will it take for you to choose you? What we have to come to realize is that the resulting comfort zone is one outside the realm of self-love. You are the teacher of you. You teach others how to treat you. It's that simple. We're having a you discussion. Remember, I said most of my podcasts are you discussions. Now I get it playing out when you were a child. I get that. As a child, you kind of take what you get type of thing because you're dependent. But then you go independent, interdependent. You go all these different other levels once you hit an adult. And you got handed your shites and other things when you were an adult. And as an adult, you need to take ownership and craft the you that you wish to be. You need to get to know you and direct others to know who you are, who that you is, and what that you is all about. Case in point for me, I may not be the prettiest in a room full of others, and I don't wish to be, nor do I wish anyone calling me a friend to use such narrow parameters to define me, and certainly not in comparison to them or using their standards of beauty to compare me to others in that way. And when put downs in any form occur, I am encouraging you to stand up for yourself in language and with appropriate actions to harness and keep your power with you. Put in the necessary boundaries to keep your power with you. Come out of the background. Don't stay in the background. Come out into the spotlight. And interestingly, once I rejected those sentiments of others and stepped into my own affirmations, I have never, ever heard those sentiments again. In fact, quite the opposite sentiments came my way. This podcast, this very podcast, is nudging you to step into the forefront of your life where the spotlight shines because you have worth and because it is time. On my business card, on my thing, you will see the words, the time is now. Well, this is your time. The time is now. Step into your spotlight. Don't let anybody put you in the background. You step into the spotlight. Your time is now for Divintastical living. So join the movement. You're simply one decision away. Choose you and show you matter. Because quite frankly, you do. And if you need help with that, reach out using the links in the description and book a meet and greet with me, because this is serious business. You are serious business. You are magnificent and you have a God spark and you need to shine. So step out into the spotlight. And if you need my help doing that, reach out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of Arrays of Living. And please be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You will also find in the description below my email address should you want to reach out, and I am happy if you do. And just to be sure, it's jen@youareworthmore.co, and worth more you definitely are. And lastly, also see the link that will allow you to schedule a meet and greet with me. And that's an opportunity for me to meet you and you to meet me and for us to have a chat. And that would be wonderful and welcoming. So please hit the link and let's set up a meet and greet.